didn't know my mom was funny until I was 12 years old, because she was so busy being a great mom, nurturing me, cooking, cleaning, and doing those things. I didn't see her in any other capacity. I almost didn't see her as like a real person. Hi, my name is Brittany Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a mom of four, and I like to talk about elevating motherhood, empowering mothers who are curating magical childhoods for their children. So if that sounds like something that you're into, make sure you subscribe. And let's get into today's video, because this is such an important topic that is near and dear to my heart. It's really about the importance of hobbies for moms and how Brazilian Jiu Jitsu really changed who I am and how I show up as a mother. So let me give you the backstory. It was during 2020 that I picked up a great hobby of baking bread. Okay. I loved baking bread. I baked it all 2020 into 2021. My family loved it. However, I gained a lot of weight eating all that bread. So I wanted to get into fitness and lose weight and just feel good in my body again. So I went to a local UFC gym and I started kickboxing because I used to do kickboxing before. So I was like, okay, that's the thing I need to do now to get back into shape. In the kickboxing class, I noticed my techniques were a little rusty. So I decided to go to a Muay Thai technique class that I also used to take before as well. So there I had a partner. She was really sweet, and she was telling me about Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and how the next day she's going to be doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but there aren't any female partners and she wishes that she had one. So of course, me being a girl's girl who wanted to get into fitness, I said, of course, I'll come. I'll be your partner. No problem. So that's how the journey began. However, I didn't know what Brazilian Jiu Jitsu was. So I kind of signed up for something blindly. And when I walked in there, all I saw were men literally rolling and sweating all over each other. And I'm like, I'm supposed to participate in this? I'm supposed to get on the floor and roll with men? I don't think so. It was so crazy to me. So that was definitely something that I had to adjust to. But somehow I just kept going, kept showing up. There was something about the fact that, someone's beating you, literally, physically beating you, that really inspires you to kind of show up the next day so you can get better and better and better. Also, jiu-jitsu is kind of like body chess. You really have to think. So not only is it physical, it's mental, and then also you're really close to the people that you're working out with because you are literally rolling on each other. So it just kind of builds this really, I don't know, maybe the oxytocin was flowing, but I started to really, really like it and show up. However, as a mom of four, this was actually really hard for me to mentally get over the fact that I was going somewhere that wasn't, quote unquote, absolutely necessary and spending time away from my family. Mom guilt is so real because even though I was locked down with them for 18 months during the pandemic, even though I left my career path to become a stay-at-home mom, and I literally give all of my time, energy, and focus to my children, I still felt as if I was doing something wrong by going to the gym and showing up for myself. And honestly, I think someone else commented that to me as well in my family, like, oh, you go to the gym, you need to be with your kids. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I go to the gym for an hour. I can't go to the gym for an hour and pour into myself. And I've been at home all these years. It didn't make any sense. And anyone who tells you something like that literally doesn't want you to be your best self. And you need to be your best self for your children. You need to show up for them as a whole healthy person. So I had to let that go. And that was mentally hard at first. So if you're a mom and you're kind of thinking, oh, where am I going to squeeze in the time? You really do have to prioritize yourself and taking care of yourself. And your hobbies are a major priority. You have to do it. It doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. I'm just sharing how it changed my life and made me a better mom. But you need something. You need something. And I employ it to be something that's even outside of the house, because I do have hobbies inside the house, like I said before, with the bread baking, right? but I also need things where I can go out and meet people who share that same interest. Or maybe if you do it at home, maybe you can do it virtually online. I take a virtual BJJ class online, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu class online, and I've met amazing women, and I've actually met up with them in other cities, like in Vegas and stuff, and we all hang out and train together. It's amazing. We support each other. So I employ you to do that. If you're going to do it at home, definitely have a virtual community as well. Okay. But I noticed as a mom coming out of the pandemic, where I've been in the house with my kids for a really long time, and I went through a lot of things during those years. So I was coming up out of postpartum depression and PTSD. And jiu-jitsu was one of the things that really helped my mental health. It helped me to become more clear, more confident. There's something about the endorphins of exercising and the oxytocin of literally touching and rolling all over each other that is required to train jiu-jitsu. Those things together really helped heal me, and I was better able to show up for my children. I also was better able to relate to them and their activities, because when they were having a hard time or when they didn't want to do something, I could relate to that, because sometimes I didn't want to go train jiu-jitsu. I was tired, or I was really bad at whatever technique that was being taught that week, and I didn't want to do it. But I need to show up for myself. I need to stay committed to my goals, especially when I started signing up for competition. And my kids got to see me push through those things. They got to see me work hard at something that I had made a goal for, right, towards, and how I didn't always want to do it, but how I had to push myself by creating systems and times that I always did X, Y, and Z. So they got to see the process. They got to see the physical change. I literally lost 40 pounds. Like, I lost a lot of weight, more than 40 pounds. I lost a lot of weight as well. So they saw me get strong. They saw me get muscles in my arms. So all of those things helped them in terms of they were able to see how I put together systems to practice, and they could adopt those systems when it came to curating some type of schedule, routine around their goals, their sports, their academics as well. Not just hearing me talk about it, but literally seeing me. They also saw me go to a competition and win. They saw me go to a competition and lose. I got second place one time. And so they got to see how I showed up, how I was not a sore loser, how I became friends with my competitors, and I would learn from them. We would talk about the match and the mistakes and the things that the other person did great, and you just saw that community, and you saw how to behave even when you were not happy about your results. So they saw all those things, and they were able to adopt those things, and they actually began to do jiu-jitsu as well. So now my kids do jiu-jitsu, and they've been competing. They just did their second competition ever, and I'm really proud of them. And they're able to look back and see where they made mistakes. They want to keep going. They want to do better. I love it for them. It's also something that I think my sons and I will be able to bond over when they're teenagers, because sometimes when they're teenagers, especially I'm a mom, I'm a woman, and they're boys, and they're doing their boy thing, and maybe they just don't have anything that we can talk about because we don't relate that much anymore. That's an unfortunate truth for a lot of teenage parents, especially moms to boys or maybe fathers to daughters. But it's nice to have something that you both do that y'all can relate to. So now we do jiu-jitsu. My oldest son is 10, and now we talk about that, and we talk about the techniques, and we talk about the competition, and we practice together. We work out together in the morning. It's so cute. So that's something that also added to the bonding experience between me and my children, and I think that's something that also made me a better mother. Lastly, the community building is amazing for jiu-jitsu, and that really helped me feel more balanced. That helped me feel as if I had other things that I do that's important. People are checking for me. They want to make sure I'm at class. If you miss a class, they're gonna let you know, oh, hey, we missed you, right? And so it's nice to have that sense of community where you have hobbies and interests, and you grow in that. And it has nothing to do with your family. It has nothing to do with monetary gains. It's literally just something that you're passionate about and you want to grow in it and you want to get better at it and you want to show up for yourself. And I think that's something important to show my children to have. It's helped me to create stronger morning routines around fitness and around what we eat and how we're going to nourish our body because we're athletes now, right? We are. And I can join them in that effort. And that's something that they have really taken on, and they're really thriving. They really get up in the morning, they do their whole entire morning routine, which includes the workout, and then they're really amped up and ready for school. I feel like they're more awake, they're more alert, they're better able to learn by having that routine, and that all came from me doing jiu-jitsu. I'm much more consistent now than I've ever been in my entire life around that morning routine for myself and for my children. This is not an advertisement for you starting Brazilian Jiu Jitsu per se, but I'm telling you, if you're a parent, don't forget to have your own hobbies. Don't throw them away. Don't put them by the wayside. Your children deserve to see you as a whole, healthy person. Your children deserve to see you in other elements outside of just taking care of them or just making money to provide for the family. They need to see you in so many different facets, and they're going to grow up and remember how amazing you were at, for me, jiu-jitsu and baking and showing up for the family and doing all these things. They're going to remember you as a whole person, not just someone who took care of them. I remember for myself, I didn't know my mom was funny until I was 12 years old, because she was so busy being a great mom, nurturing me, cooking, cleaning, and doing those things. I didn't see her in any other capacity. I almost didn't see her as like a real person until I was 12, because she didn't do anything outside of cooking, cleaning, and of course tending to me when I was sad or whatever, right? But once I hit 12, she started being able to tell me jokes and, relate to me. And now, of course, now she's my best friend, but I missed those years prior to 12 of us being besties as well, because she was so busy being a nurturer. So that's something that I think I started doing a little bit as well, especially once I hit 4 kids. I started really like trying to make sure I was nurturing and, doing all of those things that made my kids didn't even see my personality anymore. I was kind of like a robot trying to get everything done. So once I started doing jiu-jitsu and once I started pouring into myself and having my own hobbies and showing up, I realized, hey, you know what? Let's give a little more personality here, okay? That's just as important as having clean dishes, right? All right, I hope that this has inspired you to start your journey, whether it's jiu-jitsu or salsa, whatever it is. Please start your journey, show up for your family. They will love you for it, I promise. All right. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you do, because I have a lot of information about teaching children how to read. I have a lot of information about pregnancy and just parenting and motherhood overall. So I will see you in another video.